In this episode of the Dr. Clay Show, I'm going to tell you about my current favorite type of chip, as in like a potato chip replacement, a healthy version. And I'm also going to explain why I'm growing a mohawk and a big fat beard. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Dr. Clay Show. Yep, in this one I'm going to tell you about, probably kind of loud, huh? Tell you about my favorite kind of chip. Man, these things are good. Talk about my hair first. I mean, that's probably why you're watching this anyway, right? Like all the kids do these days. A while back I grew probably about a year ago, I grew kind of a mohawk on the top. Faux hawk, whatever you want to call it. But hey, when it comes to faux hawk, when I say faux hawk, I'm not talking about the type that tapers up. I'm not gonna rock that style because I think that if you're gonna do a mohawk, there needs to be some level of commitment. You know, you need to commit to have a harsh transition from shaved to long. You know, some sort of delineation. Otherwise, very much a faux hawk. So what I did is on a family vacation last year, I got my little sister to do me a mohawk on the top. We'll call it a faux hawk. And I enjoyed it. It was cool. And eventually I kind of, I don't know, I just kind of grew tired of it. Got a wild hair, no pun intended. And shaved it. So I went back to doing the, the monk looking haircut, which I really like. And sort of maybe as a long-term thing, shaved is what's for me. But nonetheless, I got bored with the shave for a while because some days I love the fact that when you have a shaved head, you can just get up and go. It really decreases your preparation time in the morning. But it just got boring, for lack of a better term. So a couple of weeks went by one time and I didn't get around to trimming my hair. So it grew out a little bit. So I thought, this would be a good time to, let me just see, before I shave it all off, let me just do a mohawk all the way down the back. Because I was thinking, if I do a mohawk again, while I still have all my hair, I want to do one from front to back, you know, a real mohawk, so to speak. And so anyway, so that time my hair grew out a little bit, I did that. Rocked it all the way from front to back. I'll show it all to you later. But I did that, and it's growing out. I just got over being sick for a little while. Man, sick as a dog, as we say in the South, and it was not good. Anyway, I did lose some weight though because I couldn't eat for a while, and it's amazing how well a starvation diet works in terms of losing weight. Unfortunately, you know, the majority of that's muscle mass. Anyway, I digress, as I often do. With my hair, as I was sick, it got to grow out more. Anyway, so I'm left at this point with got a mohawk, and I'm enjoying it, especially as it grows out more. When it was so short and there wasn't much of a difference, you know, between the short and the long, I didn't enjoy it as much. But it's starting to grow on me now. Again, no pun intended. Man, these cheesy puns are just coming up. I've had what I'll call a pretty boy beard, I guess, for a while now. Pardon me while I engage in some post-workout nutrition. And you know, normally I've got the closely cropped beard, the pretty boy beard, the borderline metrosexual beard. It occurred to me the other day as I was checking up on my mohawk and assessing its growth and overall, you know, sex appeal, and it dawned on me that, you know, like Mr. T didn't have a mohawk and like a pretty boy beard, right? Mr. T had a real beard. And I kind of feel like if you're going to rock a real mohawk, you need to rock a real beard too. Thinking about Mr. T sort of planted the seed, and then next time I watched Duck Dynasty, which is one of my current favorite shows, I couldn't help but think, man, if those guys, some of my brethren from the South, granted they're from Louisiana and I'm from Alabama, but if my fellow Southern boys, man, if they can rock the beards like that, there's just a full-on man beard. If Duck Dynasty guys can do it, Mr. T can do it, I need to do it. I call it an alpha male beard. And I don't mean like, you know, you got to be the top guy. I just mean like a manly man. It's like a manly man beard. And I feel like, at least for one time in my life, I need to have a manly man beard. there you go, my friend. That's why I'm rocking this hairstyle and this manly beard. So, cracks me up talking about my manly beard. I crack myself up in general, though. So there's nothing new there. Regarding the beard, my plan with it, I'm sure that was your question is, well, Dr. Clay, how long do you plan on growing the beard? That's a good question. Pardon me while I eat with my mouth full, which my mom taught me very well not to do. She also taught me to say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Well, I'll still do that. So with the beard, I plan to basically grow it out until the point where it looks too long. Also, I realized another reason, yet a third reason to grow this beard, Mr. T, Duck Dynasty being 1 and 2, is as a tribute to the San Francisco Giants winning the World Series yet again this year for the second time in 3 years. So this is a sort of a delayed congratulations to the Giants. And in case you don't know, the Giants have this thing, Fear the Beard. There's a guy, I forget what his name is, maybe Brian Wilson? Or I think that's a singer. I don't know, maybe they're both Brian Wilson. I don't know. I'm a passive baseball fan. Anyway, so he has just a full-on, a manly beard. Talk about an alpha male beard. That's a badass beard. And he dyes it black, and it's real tough looking. I don't plan to dye mine black, but I might. You never know. If you need a fourth reason, I believe I've never met him, but I'm pretty sure Jesus had a beard too. So, if all those people have had, manly beards, I figure I should as well. So let's get to this chip from Trader Joe's. And those of you in parts of the country that do not have Trader Joe's, I'm sorry. I've lived in places that didn't have Trader Joe's for quite some time, but now I'm lucky enough to live in the land of Trader Joe's, and it's I was going to say it's changed my life, but that would be an extreme exaggeration. Anyway, I do like Trader Joe's. It's kind of like an affordable version of Whole Foods, if you will. Instead of it being like whole paycheck, Trader Joe's is only half paycheck. So anyway, these chips, let's get serious for a second, okay? Let me put on my game face. Okay, these chips are vegetable root chips. And even just saying vegetable root chips, like, hey guys, you want some vegetable root chips instead of potato chips? Already, that's kind of fun. Notice the different colors. They are it's quite an attractive chip, I've got to say. I've got some in here that I will show you, but they're small pieces. They're not that visually appealing. I love you, but I'm not going to open this bag until it's time to, because I like my vegetable root chips fresh. The contents of these chips, it is, when you read the ingredients, always the ingredients are listed in order of predominance. The first ingredient is a blend of root vegetables, it says. And then in parentheses, that includes sweet potato, and sweet potatoes colored with beets, same difference. Taro, batata, sounds a lot like patata. And parsnip, anyway, it's got some canola oil, as well as I hate when they say canola and or safflower oil. I feel like going, hey guys, you don't know what kind of oil is in your chips? Is it this one and that one? Or is it this one? Or is it that one? How much more vague can you be? I'm sure it's based on availability and all that stuff. But anyway, it has the oil, canola, safflower, and or sunflower oil, as well as salt. That's the ingredient. So it's basically basically sweet potatoes, a little oil, and canola oil is not that bad. And then salt. It's basically like really 3 main ingredients. Now the nutrition value this is per 1 ounce, or about 28 grams, which happens to be about 16 chips. All right, so 1 ounce is 160 calories. I don't look at calories. I don't care. I look specifically at the carbs, fat, and protein. All right, grams of fat, 10 grams of fat per ounce per 16 chips. It's a bit high. Other than that, these things are dang near perfect. Total carbs, 16 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber as well as 1 gram of sugar. So kind of essentially the same, carb content as sweet potato, and then 2 grams of protein. So you're looking at basically, I mean, it's not a good source of protein at all, but I'm holding it up like I feel like I'm Vanna White or something, or, in a way I feel like, like I'm pimping these vegetable root chips. Of course not. I'm not attached to any, you should know, by the way, that I'm not at all biased toward any brand of supplement, any nutrition products, any products at all for that matter. Although I would endorse Nike, I have to admit, or Vans shoes. I love Vans. But I purposely, in fact, I've turned down numerous offers to endorse various nutrition supplements, and I do that for you. In fact, I'm being serious, because I don't want you guys to ever wonder if I'm recommending or not recommending a product based on my attachment to it. Like, if I endorse whatever, if I have a contract, with Gatorade, and then I'm always talking about how great Gatorade is, or I do a review of it, you would be left wondering if, if I'm genuine in my recommendation or my evaluation. So I don't endorse any products because I want you to know for sure that I'm unbiased. All right. So although I feel like a little bit like I'm pimping these, I feel pretty good about it. I like them. They've got a good taste, and low in sodium too. 1 ounce of these only has 35 milligrams of sodium. That's low. By the way, you should eat like at least 1,500, 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day. So having 35, that's nothing. And it's just a good all-around chip, I believe. Now, in closing, like, where do I put these in my meal plan? Well, you just have to keep in mind that it is a source of protein, a source of carbohydrates, as well as a source of fat. Generally speaking, I recommend having meals that are comprised of protein and carbs, or protein and fat. But I also advise or advocate, or whatever, using meals that are protein containing and a portion, like a partial serving of carbs and a partial serving of fat. And that's where these will come in. So this meal that I'm having here, I can feel that leucine triggering protein synthesis with every sip. So these would fit into kind of that meal plan. This would be my protein, and this is the carbs and fat. Kind of a combo, but less amount. When you eat carbs and fat in the same meal, you want to decrease the amounts of each. All right, my friend, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed the overly lengthy explanation of my current hairstyle, facial and head hairstyle, as well as me telling you about my favorite chip. So if you don't mind, I'll let you go, and I'm gonna finish up this bag right here. It's almost to the point where you just drink it like that. That's about what it's time to do. So I'll let you go. Peace.